patient-based articles, insights, or just general market industry. So yeah, lots of things to come.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think it's a good time to like give people an update of at least what we're up to. For the past couple months, right, we're very focusing on letting the clients and real estate company understand why it's so important to go online. Because funny, because like my journey for such a long time is doing startup is that a lot of real estate companies always want to pull the trigger to really to try it out, do different tech, but then they're still hesitant. And even think in their gut feeling, they know they have to, and they realize is that because they have been taught and tell themselves that they just sell and sell and sell, but then now because of the marketing is actually is a long term investment, and now they realize it's not long term anymore. It's now we have to get on the ASAP. So our team been focusing so much on that aspect, and we realize that it's time to shift towards the investor side. Because investor right now is that there's so many real estate events. Like I was looking at the stats yesterday, right? The report from Soho app.
Okay.
So remember I always said that in 2019 there's 1,600 real estate events in Hong Kong, right? At least. Right? So that was like 30 to 40 real estate events every single week, telling you that hey, the Malaysia, Indonesia, Hong Kong, UK, whatever country is the new future, come check it out, right? And this year is going to be 25% more. That's why it's so important for us to get, if people are interested to learn about real estate, overseas investing, at least it's like how to navigate, because there's so much information, right? And then it's more and more important now to allocate money. So we did a lot of videos on that. So I actually want to, Miles, because you've been joining us about a few months already, what are a few videos that you felt we did a great job?
Yeah, okay, fantastic. So again, I want to split them into two categories. You've already talked about how we've done a lot of work talking to clients, which are real estate agents or leasing companies who we want to help bring online, right? And do lead gen and basically reach out to more people and get their products out there. But then on the other side, and I think the one that's a bit more closer to home is the investor side or the stakeholder, or just the usual property professional or someone who has some money laying around. And so there's a lot to dissect. I'd say one big trend that I've enjoyed researching, because it has a lot to do with Denzity, it has a lot to do with PropTech Institute as well, is ESG in real estate. And I think our insights videos of the last 2 weeks, so last Thursday and the Thursday before that, were some pretty good, more industry specific highlights about what exactly is it, how does it mesh with real estate, why does it matter, and then also why not just investors but also developers should care about it. But more and more I'm trying to sort of pivot towards almost reminding people of the viability of overseas real estate investment.
For sure.
I'd say traditionally it's and still now there's that stereotype or idea that it's very far off. Not only does real estate require very high break-in costs, but to even begin thinking about purchasing a property in a foreign country, it's kind of a radical concept that's not only now becoming normalized, at least for the more average person. And I feel like putting the information out there to help people make their decision and letting them know, like what are some fees to expect, how do you even create like a property watch list, what are some countries to begin looking into, especially in Hong Kong where it's so expensive.
Yeah.
Right? And we actually did this it was a sort of tongue-in-cheek article about what can 100K get you.
That was a really good article, actually.
And so the more I read and research, the more I want to go back and alter the article, almost like a database that's updated constantly.
Yeah.
Because, with 100,000 US, say, which is a fair sum, but
in Hong Kong,
right? In Hong Kong,
you get like maybe 350 or 400 square foot kind of thing. Yeah.
And then so take that, sort of copy paste that money abroad. What does it look like? And so we do these different snapshots of different countries. We focus, the first three are Philippines, Malaysia, and Cambodia. And so say for example in Cambodia, like that can just outright purchase you 2 or 3 properties.
Yeah.
Full on, no mortgage.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more compliance and other fees to consider, pros and cons, but it's the core of that article is raising awareness of how many options there are.
Yeah.
And we've already seen that revolution with other assets, so like with stocks, you know, like with Robinhood, and with like this democratization of securities, you know, like just look at like Wall Street Bets or something. But then we don't have that in real estate, but we're getting there. And yeah, this 100K, what can you get with 100K? We were just talking about Durham earlier. You can, like a house in Durham is just under 60,000
And then
pounds.
obviously we're part of the engine too, right? It's a matter of time, right? And I think that you did a really good piece on what millennials should invest, right? I think something aware of. Because I feel that millennials at the moment, there are people that want to go real estate, but they don't have the experience for that. So, and then I think that even for us, as our calling for Denzity, is to really just showcase making contents and having partners or clients that also agree with this. Is that how do you make sure people understand better when it comes to investing overseas? Because the world is huge, right? And then like for us is that it's getting more and more important. And then right now we both know the stock market and the crypto market is a bit, you know, shaky. And that is a little bit. And it seems like real estate and something like tangible asset like real estate is going to be more, people are going to pivot towards more the allocation of the capital. It's a matter of time. So I think like for our updates, right? Like this is obviously the first live stream, and then for us, we just want to tell you guys what we're up to because there's so much things we're planning to. Our portal for clients out, which is still underground, but we're out today. Then we have a few guests coming on board. If people in Hong Kong, I don't know, you guys know, like sometimes Joe Lam.
Oh yeah,
that was a really active episode. Actually, the Edwin Lee episode was really good too.
Edwin Lee and Joe Lam both have a lot of good things to say.
About branding. It's like that's obvious. That's more about for real estate companies to understand why online like branding is so important. And there's a lot of guests coming up. And then would you mind telling more about the location that we're going to dissect and help people navigate better?
Yeah, of course. So the location based as far as like this next episode coming up or our general strategy?
2-3 months.
Love it. Okay, so 2-3 months down the road, this is our big picture sort of timeline. We really want to pivot towards being this educational foundation for location-based investment. And so that means every 2 weeks or so, we'll come out with our usual articles, videos, but it'll be thematic. For example, say we have 1-2 week period. We'll release our usual articles about investment or financial advice, maybe some like real estate break-in tips, overall real estate articles, but we will emphasize more the locations you can actually invest in, almost like city snapshots. Say for example, if you did the same for Hong Kong, over the course of 2 weeks, we would release a few articles about what should a property buyer expect in Hong Kong. What are some trends to be aware of in Hong Kong property, things to look forward to, and then that will all culminate in a video that's sort of released at the end of that 2 week cycle. And so right now we're smack in the middle of our UK location-based content cycle, if you will. I'm making it sound a lot more fancy than it is, but basically, long story short, we just really want to educate people on giving like city and country snapshots of places we think are like ideal locales for buying a property.
So it's UK first, then we're gonna go to Canada, Australia, and other places too, right? Based on what Hong Kong people want.
Exactly.
And I think that it's gonna be very helpful because like you do a great job on research. And you get all the up-to-date kind of information, and it's only around 2 to 3 weeks turnover. That means all the information is going to be very fresh and very up-to-date. And I really hope that our content, right, the thing that you have done, the hard work you have done, is help people navigate better. Because for me, for example, I used to have such a hard time to understand what is going on in a certain country. That's my job before. I would see 4 to 5 different countries. And a lot of people, I realized in Hong Kong, just don't have the time. Like they're they're workaholic, they're always working all the time. They're so busy, they have a family and so on. And then there's so many things that are going on. And the worst thing is that they spend too much time researching, but then they don't even have a clear picture of why they should even go to that places.
Yeah.
And then I think it's the worst thing is that you go to like 10 or 12 real estate events, wasting your time. You can spend time with your family, hang out with your kids, you know, like play with your dog, have a good sightseeing, so on like that, take a break from it. But you have to listen to someone from the, you know, you don't even know it's true or not for the property to sell it. Right? So I think there's so many things that we want to share with you guys. The live streaming we want to do more and more, because not only that is to us is important that you guys understand, you know, what we're doing behind the scene. Most importantly is really about, can our research, our work to give you, save your time and effort to understand how to invest in real estate, because it's getting more and more important. And then for us, is that's part of our mission for the next, at least the next couple months. And then if anything, guys, we want to end this live stream very soon. It's our first one. There's a lot of things we're going to work on. And then please let us know what are things that you want us to navigate. You know, is any topics? Miles are here. Miles will help you to, like, you know, give you some pointers too. And for us is that even for the videos, we want to make real estate as easy and interesting for you guys to digest, because life is short and there's a lot of things to learn when it comes to real estate investing. So that's all we have today. So thanks so much for your time. And Miles, thanks again for joining us.
Of course, man. Appreciate it.
And have a good day, guys.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks.